Pudge.
Dude, Jungle Pudge looking pretty good, dog.
You know, Jenkins
God damn it, BSJ.
is just giddy with excitement, I'm sure, as the one hero he can play reasonably at a decent high level has been buffed once again.
Quit trying to fish and steal my account and steal my Pudge hooks. You're not getting them.
This buffs him at all stages of the game, especially early where you can hook creeps casually.
Dude, Jungle Pudge looking pretty good, dog.
Or in Jenkins' case, you can try to hook heroes and miss. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back.
Banana slam jam.
We already read the entire patch. You can find it on my Twitch channel. You can find it if you're a Patreon member, all that lovely stuff. They mostly tuned down some of the broken items, like Echo Saber, Falcon Blade, Helm of Iron Will. These items were getting purchased a lot. Satanic, Silver Edge. Yeah, that's about it. And then they buffed a lot of under-purchased items, such as Battle Fury, Heart of Tarrasque, Greaves, Hurricane Pike. Lincoln Sphere, I think, is becoming more and more relevant as a carry item especially. I think this more so highlights heroes that want to build Lincoln Sphere. It's not an item that you just suddenly build on heroes now, but heroes like Morphling and Weaver, you're just more and more inclined to buy this item. It's been given all-stat buffs several times now. Biggest losers, especially for competitive, would be Elder Titan. They nerfed his laning phase really hard with the Astral Spirit, going from 7 to 5% level 1, and then 20 to 14 for hero damage. Then they nerfed the Ag Scepter on Ember Spirit. I think he's a really big loser of the patch. It no longer reduces mana cost, so it seems pretty impossible to make use of the item. And the Ags was like this really sick timing where your reach, as well as your gap, like you're just gap closing in general, your mobility in team fights was just absolutely absurd. And I don't think you can really make use of this anymore. Lina also hurt pretty bad. I think she's almost dead as a support if she wasn't already. And now her laning stage as well as farming speeds are significantly impacted by these changes. Magnus, you probably saw him more so in your pubs being a useless piece of shit that never empowered you. But in competitive was absolutely broken because Horn Toss stunned you for long enough that he could skewer you guaranteed. So at least at the competitive level, the Horn Toss shard nerf, making it a slow rather than a stun, means you can BKB, you can Yules, all that kind of stuff to protect yourself from getting skewered into base 50 minutes into the game. Monkey King, his early game as well as his all stages of the game, meaning Boundless Strike increased at maximum level as well as Primal Spring. I think this hurt this hero a lot. All of the morph combos, Scepter no longer reducing cooldown. It used to be almost 100% uptime on morph once you had a Scepter. Now it's about 60% uptime. So even if you have the Morph Willow combo, the Morph Shaker combo, it's definitely much weaker now, if even viable at all. Spectre, I think she was already kind of meh in pubs because the Ags build. But I think the fact that they nerfed what was making her competitively viable and also like one of her routes in pubs, pretty big deal here. Tinker, the Ags build was becoming very popular, so nerfing that by 100 cast range, a very position-based hero that's hard to catch. And then also nerfing his laning phase, especially in the side lanes. I was seeing 3-position Tinkers. I was seeing 4-position Tinkers. I think this leaves him exclusively as a mid, so that's probably where he belongs. I don't think you take a hero and enjoy having them being played in 4 different positions. Void Spirit, I'd say, is another loser of the patch. Mostly his late game scaling. A little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage here, a little bit of stun duration here. Void Spirit seems like a really fragile hero. He's like on this tipping point of broken in the mid to late game or not. And I think the fact that they buffed all of his numbers slightly last patch and then he suddenly was really popular, and now they're like slightly nerfing all of his numbers. Definitely a big deal for that hero, but I wouldn't say I think he's still fine, you know, but it definitely will make just a few situations where you would have died before, you're not going to die now as an opponent. Weaver support got nerfed pretty hard. The mana regen with no items, the Scepter cast range. But I think overall, we'll still see core Weavers, at least in pubs. I think carry Weaver, I still want to pick him, especially because of the Lincoln's buff Anytime the enemy picks like Doom or Batrider, something like that, I still think Weaver's quite good. And the biggest hot diggity dog poop loser of the patch was Tiny, as he got Echo Saber nerfed from 5 seconds to 6 second cooldown, and you also nerfed Silver Edge damage and attack speed. And then if you look at these nerfs, the level 15 talent was corrected, his damage to towers was nerfed, and then also in the laning phase, you used to be able to just chuck tree at a creep, and then it would splash for 200% damage, which means you could throw a tree at the enemy hero, or at the creep, and hit the enemy hero for like 170. But now, instead of 200% damage, it's 40% damage, level 1, which is a pretty big difference. The 200% difference, like as you are farming as well, is much bigger when you are farming like ancient stacks early game. You would just chuck your tree, and the extra 200% was effectively like an extra hit from the tree. So instead of 5 charges, you effectively had 6. So yeah, hurt a lot of his stages of the game here. Very nice to see this. I do think it hurts him almost to the point of extinction in terms of the carry, but we'll just have to see on that one. Biggest winners of patch 7.30E according to BSJ. Yikes, they're all fucking nerfs, guys. I do want to try Omni Knight 3 position. Giving him base armor on a strength hero who has innate healing means he has a more effective HP, and then they buffed his Degen aura. So we're done with this bitch-ass support, give your guy W. We're back to the 2012 404 Omni Knight, Romney Knight, baby. Run at them, give them the hammer dick. Definitely going to do that. I actually do want to try that. I think it's going to be pretty good. OD's curious. My curiosity has been piqued. I don't like the hero, but it seems like buffing this from 6% average to 9%. We talked about this on the Twitch stream. It's a really nice buff, level 1, going from 6 to 9. Really nice. I think his landing stage might just be better. You could probably leave Essence Flux at 1 point, going from that 6 to 9% buff. Pudge.
Dude, Jungle Pudge looking pretty good, dog.
You know, Jenkins.
God damn it, BSJ.
Is just giddy with excitement, I'm sure, as the one hero he can play reasonably at a decent high level has been buffed once again.
Quit trying to fish and steal my account and steal my Pudge hooks. You're not getting them.
This buffs him at all stages of the game, especially early where you can hook creeps casually.
Dude, Jungle Pudge looking pretty good, dog.
Or in Jenkins' case, you can try to hook heroes and miss.
God damn it, BSJ.
But it will be 25 less mana. So it gives you basically 3 hooks, level 1, instead of 2, which is really nice. Pugna is another big winner for me because Lina and Ember were 2 of his worst lane matchups. And in the last 2 patches, they've given his tower sieging farming ability 100 cast range. And he is a position-based spellcaster, similar to Tinker, where if you nerf his Ags by 100 on Tinker, but you buff Pugna's Netherblast, which is a really weird ability. It's really awkward. You don't want to walk in to cast it. You pretty much had to have Aether Lens to cast it. Now with Aether Lens, you're sitting pretty on this ability. So I think we'll see a lot more mid-Pugna. You heard it here first. Thompson's coming back from retirement, baby. Honestly, that seems to be it for the buffs, but we can infer that with the nerfs to certain heroes, we may be seeing a lot more of others. We saw all 3 spirits getting nerfed, which means gap closing will be maybe less powerful in the mid lane, mobility as a whole. Alchemist getting buffed. I actually think this hero is really good. I think he was underrated last patch. I want to try him. His strength gain only got buffed by 2.2, which means every 5 levels he has an extra strength, which makes him that much harder to burst. But I think Armlet's still going to be a really good item for him. And I also think with lack of mobility, it's going to be harder to invade farm. I really do think heroes that come online super quick will still be really good. I'm still going to be picking like the Lunas, the Alchemists. I want to try Alchemist. I think Weaver Core is still going to be really good. But overall, I think I'll have to wait and see with my impressions. Those are my initial... I have to try these out, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't think Battle Fury is back just yet. But like I said, it's going to be tougher for heroes to invade because all the elusive mobile heroes got nerfed. So maybe Battle Fury will also see play. I also like heroes like Queen of Pain, as well as potentially Puck. The mobile mid laner substitutes for the spirits. I feel like those two heroes were kind of just underwhelming in comparison. And now with all the spirits getting nerfed, Quap known to kind of dump on the 3 spirits in lane. Maybe if the spirits continue to get picked, Quap will see a lot of play. So those are my highlights for the mid lane. But I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I almost forgot literally the thing I say at the end of every frickin' video. So thanks for watching, guys.